Stars don't need gigs. He rich. I need gigs, guys. My savings account is a Jack in the Box coupon.
It's for like a Jack in the...
It's like an IOU for Jack of Boba.
No, it's not even like a hamburger or something. It's the Jack in the Box like
Small fries
tacos
with
or
drink.
something. No, the Jack in the Box tacos. You know, like something that nobody ever orders from.
Dude,
Jack
I
in the
ordered.
Box.
I'm not even trolling you.
I know you did. Go.
It's all good. It's all good. All right. I'll tell that story another time.
All
You guys
right.
don't want to hear about me and the Burger King tacos. It's not that interesting of a story, but it does include Purge being really disappointed in me. Actual Dota stuff, though, I think I like Navi's lineup.
Yeah.
Plus, I feel like you can't give magical TA. You see what he did there, by the way? What he did when he walked mid? So JJ's gonna click the TA, and he's gonna see that the TA is missing quite a bit of HP. And the reason for this is because he walked into the high ground, and it tells you when you get hit by the tower where the ward vision sees you up to. And so now he knows for a fact that there's a ward here, so he instantly pings. And he was like, yeah, exactly.
Over the top bounty rune, we are going to have a fight breakout as it looks like the Winter Wyvern does manage to get in front of the Rubik, drops down to
Kaka's
earth,
dead.
blocks him, and that is going to be first blood for Crystallize. And given his performance in game one, you do not want to give this man a head start.
Wonderful.
Oof. Good.
What do you think about the Venomancer last pick? We got to talk about that because that's obviously the standout pick.
I don't know. Veno's a really weird hero for me. Because when he's in the meta, he feels so good. Like back when his talent tree was just the best in Dota.
Yeah.
Like the uncontested best. Now it's not like as broken. And it's a little bit more interesting. Like you can go for the Gale hero impact. I think that's what Matu goes for often is old 11. Taking a lot of damage here. One more right click from both might do this.
Oh,
Yes.
one more shot. That's it. 2-0 now. See, this is the problem that we were talking about earlier about like dual lanes. Because the one thing I did like about the Venomancer is that it didn't matter what lanes you got. Venomancer is literally good in lane against every single one of these heroes, right? The Brewmaster, the TA, and the Ursa. And the Furion is also good against the Brewmaster and the Ursa.
Oh, look at Magical. He's dropped the sentry. So he should walk into the high ground, tango this, which he
Easy.
does.
Gets a bunch of extra regen for his efforts.
I love that now. The move to check the ward. I think it's so smart.
So what, you run to the right, like
Yeah.
into
the tree line area, and then if the tower's still hitting you,
Right.
you immediately know that the ward is in that area. It just like tips off. But
Very
it also should tell Ember Spirit like where Navi's ward is too. But for now, anyways, things so far so good. As the TA is getting worked right now.
Do you still go for the max sleight of fist build on Ember against TA? Do you not go chains?
I'm not sure.
Because I know I've seen so many Embers, and like the hot thing right now is like max out sleight of fist, amazing ability. Kaka's going to be got here in the top lane with a double damage on Chu, but with the Fate Bolt as well as a little bit of help from Dark, they might be able to trade off supports here. Sure enough, Chu is going to die. The tri-lane versus tri-lane, and that's the thing, right? We talked about, like we referenced it. Everybody right now, like dual lanes, if you're matched up against a dual lane, just go for the tri-lane, you're gonna win. Well, with Keen Gaming, they saw that, they lost 2 heroes, they had to be able to change things up, so now they're gonna bring 3 heroes up to top and make it a full tri-v-tri.
I think that the Brew might want to think about, I think maybe he should have skipped the wave. Just like even it out and say like, screw it, we'll trade farm. Like Veno for Brewmaster. I think Brew is such a good offlaner right now.
Oh, well, that answers our question about chains.
He's got him.
You get him. You get the chains and kill that Templar Assassin who you are already dominating in CS. I mean, the score is 2-3, but more importantly, look at that CS score. Look at the net worth lead already for Keen. They are winning every single lane.
That's really surprising. I thought that this matchup was okay for TA. Like, I didn't think it was going to be this one-sided.
Especially given its signature hero for Magical.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw Magical work everybody last game. As
Catch again. And with Kaka here as well, he's going to go for the telekinesis. Toss back, Fate Bolt does hit, and Magical now pops a refraction at the last second. Tries to get a tree planted to be able to block in Yi, but misses. And as a result, he will be able to get out.
Dude, Kaka's
No
a
HP,
savage.
but gets out.
He's actually just denying creeps in front of Misha.
I remember when Misery was talking about some support player, and he was like, "This guy's so good. He's like stacking at 35 minutes in." You know?
He was talking about.
Who was that?
He was talking about the Crystal Maiden player on SG Esports. Oh, this
Running down, Blizzy. What a big kill. He just goes from killing the Templar Assassin, rotates down to bottom, and
yeah, this is max efficiency. But yeah, he was talking about whoever the Crystal Maiden player was on. Hold that thought is Dark.
we're not going to talk about it ever, apparently, because we're just going to keep having action. Dark gets out the kinetic field, but doesn't block either one of these heroes, and that means he's going to die. If he had gotten it a little bit farther forward, he might have been able to get away.
That was such a funny ring. He just completely whiffed on it on both people. As mid lane, Magical. Kaka's given the mana, but no real follow-up to that, as the bounty runes are going to spawn up. Keen and Na'Vi just going to split 2 for 2. But yeah, he was just saying, like, if you're a support player willing to stack at 35 minutes, like, you're trying to win Dota.
Yeah. And I guess that's the point I was trying to make, is like really good players like never stop with the basics, you know?
Yeah, that's
never
actually really
stop
cool.
trying to go for the denies.
Top.
2, he's going to be able to get the initiation onto the Furion. There is something about this, like once the supports leave, this Furion can't just die over and over again. And we're rapidly seeing that not only is Ursa free farming, but he's getting the +1 off of these hero kills. But back over to mid lane, it's all good, I guess, if top is dying, as long as you're killing mid over and over again. And that's what's happening here. The tower aggro goes onto him, but Yi managed to disjoint it with the remnants and will be able to kill that Lion. Double for him. Old 11's going to show up and try and put some pressure, save this tower, but Blizzy's going to roll up and just wham.
11, your presence was absolutely not needed.
Yeah, that guy showed up way too late for any kills and just immediately dies.
That was so funny. He just like came in, he's like, guys, I will have impact here. And he just made that sort of like an even-ish trade as a result of doing that. Like, he sort of just ruined that a little bit.
Okay, so Crystallize is getting farmed, but you're losing 2 other lanes. So, Blitz, what do you do in this sort of Dota scenario? Well, is the fight gonna happen? I'm just never sure.
I think they can. Navi's lineup plays really quick, as they're gonna go on to Dark, who's.
You need to get a better kinetic field this time. Nope, it's gonna be the telekinesis that saves him.
He misses again, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's okay.
I mean, it kind of matters. You ever miss the stun as Nyx Assassin, your first stun, and then you just feel bad?
It just kind of snowballs, right?
My man Dark needs to start hitting some kinetic fields. That way he has confidence for when it really matters. What were you saying? What was I saying?
What?
Oh, we just keep on getting into fights. Oh yeah, what do you do when like the lanes are bad and like the enemy team is trying to keep the lanes as they are? Like they're just like they want to have this continual Venomancer versus Brewmaster and this Ember just killing the TA. How do you change things up if you're not?
It's the first rotation of the course, like how this Ursa decides to move around.
Okay.
Because I think right now the Ember can just go around, do whatever he wants. Like he can just like flit from lane to lane. It's
So the
really
person
easy.
who actually is getting farm out of his lane needs to use that farm to help others, basically.
Yeah.
Dark did not lock out Magical again. And he will die.
Like the good news for Na'Vi is they're still stomping this top lane.
Yeah.
Like they're just Donkey Kong style, like sitting on their heads. As Old 11's gonna get gone on again. The Hex is here from the Lions, who should be more than enough damage. One more swipe will do it. As Old Chicken's gonna rotate up, but Crystallize with the instant TP, no throws from him. The Rubik's gonna come in too, just a second too late. And that is really nice. The fact that they were able to force that rotation, as we're gonna see something fly.
Oh, it goes a little bit too far away. It's just the auto attack from the Veno.
Is he gonna hit him?
No, right?
Okay.
Because he TP'd out. I think it was just a weird, like...
It looked wild.
Now, I mean, King Gaming, you could see the game plan pretty clearly. We're going to go, we're going to win lanes, we're going to get a Venomancer farm, and between Furion and Venomancer, we're just going to push down towers. And then we've got this playmaking hero in Ember Spirit who can split push and kill things. Like, they're just going to start running. And Navi needs to find a way to be able to win these team fights. That's why Blizzy was set up perfectly on the left-hand side. He's able to get a good ultimate and immediately jump onto this Venomancer with the disables from Chu.
Ember's coming in, though.
It's going to be a very easy kill. Or maybe it's not. They're actually running out of damage. Old Chicken is actually tankier than I gave him credit for. Finally, he does die, but it costs the Brewmaster so much time. And now with the Ember Spirit already making his way across, he's going to be able to catch one support. And Blizzy, who had committed all that time for the Venomancer, is now out of position and going to be eventually brought down, it looks like, by
just keep eating trees, buddy.
The attacks from the supports and this offlaner.
Look at this. He's trying to go for the Tokyo Drift.
He tried to juke him out.
Not even close.
That was optimistic.
So they did manage to kill at the Venomancer. They do lose a tower for it, though.
Yeah.
So not the worst thing in the world, but not sure.
And it's going to be pretty rough, right? Like, this is always going to be the thing, because they've got Furion and Ember, both who can move around the map and defend towers.
Look at this, Kaka. He knows. He's waiting in the tree line here as the Ursa
They
gonna pop the
pull
ulti.
telekinesis. They will be able to throw the Ursa away from Old Chicken. And now the Sprout, as long as he lands the Gale, well,
He didn't.
Chu may still die anyway, especially, yeah, look at Ember Spirit. He knows Chu's dead. He's like, I don't even bother with this kill, honestly. I'm just going to kind of hide my positioning and look for the next kill.
You saw Crystallize try to be a homie? He ate the tree real quick to try to give his line a way out. That's why the Gale missed.
Yeah.
I don't think they were anticipating the Sprout just ending like that. This Ember's really farmed, though.
Yeah. What do you think about his build? Early Veil builds with
So the reason why I thought at least like as of, I want to say like 6 months ago when I last played that matchup, it was fine for the TA. I think I even played against Gunner or something like that, and it was okay. The reason for it being that you have high armor, or you have low armor on Ember, or like relatively speaking. TA just kind of shreds you. Like, she has a really good burst physical. The reason I think you go for the Veil is because of the armor that you get this game, and also just to like chip through the refract as fast as possible. It serves dual function.
I mean, it's got great synergy with a Venomancer too, right?
Yeah.
A safe lane carry that only gives you really magical damage.
The armor's just really good this game too.
Yeah.
Think about the heroes that he's up against. It's really great against the TA, the Brew, and the Ursa. So they're going to go for this 4-man push to this tier 2 tower. I think Navi just has to give the sub for the time being. And there's no real trade that they can go for going for Roshan or anything like that, or getting a mid tower, because he's just moving between the lanes. And once he gets Boots of Travel, they're going to have so much presence on the map with Ember, Boots of Travel, plus Nature's Prophet. Who'd panel choose, by the way, to win?
Navi.
Okay. Cool. Just wanted to subtly throw shade at them right there.
Well, they were right last game.
They were. I mean, I've never done
you wanted
Purge.
you backed Keen last game. I'll remind you. So
I did, but this time around, like, eventually you'll be right? It can't, the coin can't be heads twice in a row.
That is not. I mean, I'm gonna have to. You're gonna
Nahaz.
need some more tutor lessons from Kevin on how math works, I guess.
Alan, where you at? Help me. I don't understand.
The truth is that Nahaz never really quit being a professor to be able to be in esports. He just came to tutor Blitz.
It's a rough job. By the way, Benno, I like this build a lot. Going for the 4-staff against both the TA, the Ursa, and the Brew. This is such a value item against all 3 cores. I'd love to see the supports eventually afford one too.
Yeah. Do you get Hurricane Pike though?
Maybe later. I hate Hurricane Pike as an item.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard this before. You're essentially paying for a 5,000 gold 4-staff.
Yeah.
That was Misery's rant on it when Weehaw used to go first item Hurricane Pike SF. Weehaw, you're spending 5,000 gold on a 4-staff. She's so mad. You know who can do a really good Misery impression? Pycat.
Pycat.
Pycat is a sick one.
They've spent so much time together over
It's actually,
years and
he's
years.
so good at impressions.
Yeah.
People think that his Milk one is good, but his Misery one it's dead on.
Yo, shout out to Pycat, by the way, who's looking to coach or cast. Anybody interested?
I'd love to see him.
Tier 2 at top lane being pressured by the Furion, while bottom is being defended by an Ember Spirit. And I guess like that's the biggest problem I see for Navi's. They just can't get objectives while simultaneously they're just bleeding towers everywhere.
There's nothing for them really to do at this point because they have cores that I think were expected to win their lanes. And when you have cores that were expected to win your lanes, you fall into this holding pattern where everyone just chills because no one can really do anything about it. Like imagine Magical enters the fight with this amount of farm. Old Chicken's just gonna force staff whoever he initiates on. Fight gets reset. All of a sudden he gets galed. He's gonna get chipped down, dead. No real backup or save for him. They don't have force staffs of their own at this point. It's too early for them.
Middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Is there a point in the game where Navi is gonna have a big turnaround though? Like they're kind of like just losing these towers and not really trying to fight too much. Like, is there an item or a timing that we're gonna see Navi get aggressive?
Probably Deso go smoke and take Roche. I think that's really your only play right now. Okay.
Well, that is still going to be another 600 gold from Magical because he still does not have a Desolator. He is.
I can imagine that's like the only way that you come back. So if you're keen, I think if you just take Roshan yourself using the Nature's Prophet, it takes forever though with their lineup. Like Ember, that's the only real downside of Ember as a hero right now, is like he doesn't really provide anything for the Roshan.
Yeah.
You do this like 90 base damage, kind of just right click it.
Blizzy gonna turn and fight here. Misha is actually gonna be caught by the Static Storm of the Disruptor, brought him back, and it looks like Chu's gonna get picked off as well. So both supports are dead. Blizzy will be able to TP out safely though.
It feels so good playing as Ember without any natural counters.
Yeah. I mean, what, like, the only potential counter in this game is going to be eventually Ursa's going to get, like, Basher, right?
Yeah, or Lion gets a blink, but he's so far behind at this point. People think that Lion is this, like, all-encompassing hero that just, like, ruins everyone. But that's only if he has farm. Otherwise, you're this 800 HP hero that has to, like, walk into cast range, but you're going to get slighted and hit by, like, one Venom Ward and die.
Yeah. And if you don't believe us, just watch last game's performance from Kaka.
You just die every time.
Died over and over and over again because he never got his Blink Dagger. And the same's kind of happening here.
So the moral of the story is whoever's picked Lion is lost. Although this game is far from over. Actually, I don't know if I want to say far from over. I said this game's not done yet. Because the better way to put it is Dark's going to get run into here. Now Ember comes in.
Yeah. He came in and went out.
He's gonna poke.
Yeah.
You've been poked.
That is a lethal poke.
Oh, Misha. I was so sad for you. You saw him, he was like trying to ult anybody and they just split and they did that death ring around him as old 11 whiffing on that, but don't know if they would have gotten the kill anyways.
You know, I just appreciate old 11 for trying, you know? He's got the aggressive mindset.
The rune of regeneration.
Blink Dagger and Maelstrom is the next items for our Ember Spirit. So that is an extreme version of poke, going for the Blink Dagger. That is definitely going to be playing the mobility and spacing game as much as possible. Unfortunately, the chain's missing out on Magical. They could have chained him up. That would have been a telekinesis into the Venomancer Gale, but as a result, not getting it. What you doing up there, old chicken? What's going on? Why is he throwing wards up in the high ground? Any thoughts?
No idea.
That was weird, right? Were they trying to like find a ward or something?
I think so.
Smoke up. Do we have the Deso? We have the Deso.
I was wondering why everyone in chat kept saying like Nisha left secrets for this, and I realized they're like joking about Misha. Oh.
Yo, Club. Pulled back into his doom here. They had the Deso. They smoked up. They can't afford to lose this fight, but it looks like it's still going to be kind of okay if they can actually get more lockdown, but
it will not.
The Lion dead and the TA gone.
Brewlings.
There's no disables, no damage, and Blizzy
get out of here.
will be okay.
There's only so much you can
toss
take.
your little boulder.
Flee.
Oh no, there's an Orchid, and look at that. He just goes to the back line straight for the Winter Wyvern. Misha, he thought he was safe, like, you know, leagues and leagues behind his tier 3, but he still almost dies as he limps back to the fountain, and there's nobody to save him, nobody to try and stop this pressure. Keen Gaming are just gonna go straight for the high ground. They don't need to take Roshan themselves. They don't need to stop Na'Vi from doing it. They're just gonna end the game.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the game's just done. The laning phase was so...
Oh, did you see that cut? What did you, what? He stole Primal Split. What a sick, that's that Orchid.
Just use it right now, Kaka.
Yeah, just get it off. As long as you don't die.
He's gonna get fingered.
Curse. Oh no! Kaka, no! Good force staff down to the low ground from Old Chicken, but they still want to play some Dota here. They can definitely still fight. And so they're just going to turn their attention to that melee Rax. Can they finish it off in time, or are they going to be punished by Na'Vi? Or is Na'Vi not going to try and fight at all? They're just going to give up that melee Rax. They really just can't do anything. No Brewmaster Split, no Winter's Curse. There's just no form of initiation as a result.
Looks like we're going to go from one dominant game to another.
Yeah.
And what made Na'Vi so good last game was their ability to take fights. This time around,
Dire's bottom shrine is under
no
attack.
ability to take fights. No real initiation. They needed Blizzy to have a better game. He did not. Keen absolutely dumpster 2 lanes.
Dire's bottom shrine has fallen.
Look at that Ember Spirit heat map. He's been all over the map
Everywhere.
as we're going to watch him kill the Winter Wyvern in the river.
Oh,
Good job,
Misha's
Misha. Kill that bounding rim,
Dude, that's
baby.
the highest expected value play he could make there.
Yeah. You think he's worth less than a bounding rim? Probably, right?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, Magical's going to get pulled back. That's what it was. They were trying to do a glimpse play with the ward. They were trying to get some sort of vision for a glimpse. That's what it was. I was like, why is Old Chicken doing that? Oh, what a setup! What a gank this is! Old 11 may still be saved here by Kaka. The telekinesis is going to toss down into the Ursa. Now they're going to turn onto the Ursa with the Orchid, surrounded by treants. He's going to die. Chu barely makes it out with a TP. I almost would have felt a little bad for Old 11 just teleporting into a spot, instantly dying, but apparently he's too tanky, and Na'Vi just do not have the farm to support any of this. I mean, this is an Ursa who went phase drums into first item BKB.
Meanwhile, you've got Old Chicken who's got Force Staff and Halberd. He's got like the 2-layer counter to both the TA and...
Yeah. I mean, Kaka's trying to build an Aghanim Scepter.
That's pretty ambitious.
Yeah.
It's 19-13, so the game looks deceptively close.
Dire's middle
But let me
tower
tell you guys, this game was never in doubt.
Oh, okay. Canceled that TP real quick.
As I say that, Navi's about to make the sickest comeback of all time.
With the one-man smoke from Misha, he's going to show up. Winter's
Let's
Curse
go.
laid onto the Furion, but Venomancer doesn't do that much physical damage.
Here's the
Killed out
comeback.
with the TA. No, it's still not enough. He's going to be telekinesis tossed into the Ursa. Once again, the Ursa is being kited around the kinetic field. It's placed perfectly by Dark. Crystallize finally gets on top of some heroes, but he's already dead. Blizzy, he's going to run out of the Primal Split soon, and he's going to find that he won't be able to escape either. Look at that beautiful Sprout blocking him in. Oh, stop it, Yi.
Veno Ward
Stop it.
execution. Doesn't even give him the respect of the right click.
Mass buybacks from Na'Vi. Now they're going to still try and catch Keen Gaming. But again, how can you really get on top of this, especially with a glimpse back on a Magical? He's no longer in this fight with 2-man Gale set up, and the Ember Spear jumps right onto those 2 heroes. Crystallize gets disarmed and poked apart. Keen Gaming. I mean, we said they were kind of like the favorite going into this tournament. They lose game 1 to Na'Vi, and we're talking about like, man, this is a Na'Vi that could go all the way. And Keen Gaming are like, nah, sit down, son. We've got a different kind of game here. We know how to be able to counter your team fight. We're gonna draft ourselves good, strong lanes and just take objectives and run at you, and you're never gonna come online.
I mean, this Ember just completely took over this game. He just did whatever he felt like. Incredibly dominant in the laning phase.
Yeah.
good rotations overall. Like the one to go to bottom was probably, I think, like the back-breaking one. It was you kill the Brewmaster under his tower, you make life just so easy for your Venomancer. Then your Veno goes to top, takes 2 towers, everyone rotates bottom, takes 2 towers, you lose all map control. Suddenly you've got 3 cores on the side of Na'Vi that just need to hit jungle camps, and they don't really have that space. Keen just pressure. I don't even think they Roche, right? They just ended the game. Like, how rare is it to see that? Or you don't even bother going for a Roche despite having that much map control. You have Nature's Prophet, you can do it pretty easily, but they felt they were so ahead that they didn't have to do any of those things. As we head back to the panel, as they backtrack on their predictions, Paul, let him have it.
Fearsome, Will, fearsome. Yeah, we'll let him have it in a minute. These Wyvern pickers.
I win.
What up, Wyvern picker?
I mean,
like I won too. I don't know.
But I mean, come on, look, let's break it down and be honest. Jokes aside, the Prophet we thought was going to be ineffective. Wasn't that ineffective in the end? The Veno, by the way, which you know, rightly called out by Kevin, was very horrible for them to deal with. And that Ember was out of control. That was a second pick Ember. They didn't deal with that at all.
100% win rate continues.
Yes, it
on
does.
That Ember,
yes.
So will they fall into the trap of picking it again? You know, we talked about if you get those real comfort heroes, that's really what you kind of lean a bit towards. But it felt like they had an actual strategy involved with this one. I don't think Veno was always on their mind, but
That was the problem. He got free farm, like nobody touched him. When you look at a Veno and they have like 50 CS with no deaths at 10 minutes, that's a big issue.
Yeah.
Because they are going to move into like map control stuff. But also the Ember was definitely a big thing against the TA. They picked TA against Ember, thinking like, okay, we'll just take the hero. But Ember can break refraction charges really early. The other important thing was that who was the guy playing the Rubik that game? It wasn't
Kaka.
was it?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 great rotations early on. He came mid twice, both times, even if they didn't kill TA both times. They zoned him heavily, got him kind of close to dying. That was massive because Ember does counter TA. You prevent her from moving. Everybody else shows up. You can pile onto her. Because they had the aggression, it made TA not really much of a hero. And from there, it was just basically Ursa. So Ursa was also very kiteable. The Veno really limited what Ursa could do, and a bit TA, and Ember, because they pressured the TA, limited what TA could do. And it was like just a flip game from the last match.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I kind of had
Perfect example of it.
my toes in 2 pools, or however you want to say it, because I did say it would be a 2-1 for Keen at the very start.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Okay. All right. So it could still pan out that way.
I mean, I had like...
You also said at the end of the predictions area that it would be 2-0.
It was
Do you remember Na'Vi?
rose-colored glasses, I think.
Was
for
it?
Wyvern, yeah.
Yeah, Wyvern
Blue-coloured.
sucked that
Blue,
game.
kind of
Did,
like blue-coloured
Wyvern did suck
glasses.
that. He didn't level up the heal, though, for in-lane or anything. I thought that was a bit weird. Obviously, they have a ton of magic damage, but... And they actually went that build with a Veil too, so something that we haven't seen all too often in recent times. But obviously with a Venomancer, with an Ember Spirit, it's going to do a lot of effective
damage. And if you're like snowballing and you buy an early Veil, you're massively increasing your magic damage, and your opponents aren't going to have time to buy magic resistance items unless they get like bracers, so it just stays on top basically as effective.
I mean, the Wyvern had nothing. The Wyvern had Tranquil Boots and a wand. He didn't even have time to build into that Glimmer Cape, which honestly I think could have done a whole lot for him. Is it really worth putting that much net worth into a Lion over a Wyvern when you're getting dove like that? I don't really think so.
I don't think they had time this game. I mean, the way they pressured this game was just like overall area control. Veno wards are always around. They never slowed down. Their opponents always have to deal with plague wards and somebody getting ganked, and there just wasn't enough time for anybody to like grab items unless they won team fights. And Na'Vi tried to do that, but they couldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've had a fairly similar result to the first game, albeit flipped around for the 2 teams, which leaves us still tied up, which is nice because we like 3-game series, and that's exactly what we've got between these 2 teams. Keen versus Na'Vi continues very shortly.